MODO Bass 2 from IK Multimedia. There's one free bass model available for this virtual instrument. Let's take a look at it and see if it's good enough for your recordings. I'm Keith from No Label, No Producer, No Limits.com. Let's dive right in. Okay, I've got a rough mix of a song here. I had another bass VSTI that I was using, a virtual bass, and I thought I would try MODO 2 in here and see how it sounds. Here's a bit of the song with the bass in the rough mix and by itself.
This trip of ours has been planned for months.
Same deal with the chorus.
Hey, I'll be there in no time. A little more each day. But I don't wanna stay, wanna hit the road and feel the wind of this old line.
Let's take a look at what's available in terms of controls in the interface. I'm going to click on Effects here and call up the interface, and the first thing you see is that we have chosen this 60s P-Bass model. And if you look at the models here, I'm going to click on the Model tab. You'll see it's the only one that's unlocked. All these other models are paid models, and I'd like to say I think IK Multimedia is doing a good thing here by providing a free model for us to try out, and it's quite usable. Now, if we go to the play style, you can see we have fingers, a pick, or slap. So let's hear those. Slap isn't going to work on this part of the song. Let's go back to the verse. Now you can see here when I have pick selected, I can choose alternating strokes, or downstrokes, or upstrokes. So for this chorus, probably downstrokes. When I've got finger selected, I can choose between alternating fingers, the index finger, or the middle finger. I don't know who plays much with just the middle finger. And I can change it from hard to soft to normal touch. For slap, we have slap, pull, and auto. It's not really an appropriate song to demonstrate the slap technique with. The string, if I go under the string tab, you can change quite a bit. I'm unfretted, and the fretless basses are all paid models. 4 strings, 5 strings, or 6 strings. Drop tuning on or off, standard action. The string type and gauge change the sound quite a bit. Round wound. And I always tell bass players to change their strings before they come into the studio, but you can use new strings, broken in strings, or old strings. New strings have a lot more clarity. The electronics section is quite interesting. You can mix the piezo pickup in. And here we can have a passive circuit with this tone control, or we can switch it to active and have these 3 tone controls. The studio is interesting. We have a stomp box that is available, and there's a compressor, a graphic EQ, an octave, and an envelope follower or envelope filter. Let's see what that one does. Looks like it has low pass, band pass, and high pass. So we can choose the frequency, the depth, and the resonance. Interesting. I don't imagine getting much use out of that, but the graphic EQ might be quite useful. Now, besides the stomp box, which you can see down here on the pedal board or up here in this display, we once again have a piezo control, a stomp out, and an amp. Now, I'm assuming this mixes the stomp box. We've got the graphic EQ in. I've notice this bass seems to be a little bit heavy around the 120 hertz, so I'm pulling a touch of that out. Here's a control for the amp. Let's take a listen. And the patterns are for pre-existing MIDI patterns that they have in here, which isn't relevant to what I'm doing right here. And the control tells you what controls what in terms of muting a note or a ghost mode or a pick or a slap and so on. So once again, here it is. It's unprocessed. I don't have any compression or EQ beyond what's in the VSTi on MODO Bass 2.
Ours has been planned for months. HR approved the time. I jumped through the hoops when I needed to jump. Oh no, the boss says you can't leave me, man. There's too much to do, a big project's due. I knew you'd understand. I just smile and say I'll be there in no time. A little more each day, sell my soul.
Does seem to be rattly on that. We might be able to fix that here somewhere within the controls. But I would say this. This is quite usable and it's free. If you combine it with Slate drums, which has 3 free drum kits currently, you could have a rhythm section virtually for no cost. So here's how you install MODO Bass 2. IK Multimedia is one of those companies that wants you to install a download manager in order to license their products. So if you go to the IK Multimedia site, you'll see there's a free version available. But if you click on that free button, it will take you to a page that says, hey, install IK Product Manager in order to get this. So download IK Product Manager, appropriate for your operating system, and install. Now for me, I got this little warning that says, hey, we don't know this company. You need to click on the More Info link in order to have the option to install it. I always recommend running a virus scan on any programs before you install them. Once you install IK Product Manager, open it up, and under the Software tab, search for MODO and install it from there. I'm on Windows, so personally I just installed the VST3 in my usual file path, and then when I opened up my DAW, MODO Bass 2 was available. So what's the verdict on MODO Bass 2 from IK Multimedia? I give it a thumbs up. I wouldn't hesitate to use it on a recording. Now, I don't feel like I got it dialed in the amount of time that we had in the demo, but I can see that it has enough controls and enough flexibility that I could dial it in with a little bit more time. And of course, the paid version has a lot more bass models available. But if you're on a budget, this P-Bass from the 60s is perfectly usable. Now, if you found any value in this video, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. There's a link below with more information about MODO Bass 2. I'm Keith from No label, no producer, no limits.com. See you next time. Bye-bye.